So the 4 things I have to pack tonight are all green. Starting with this little patch. It's a vintage Brontosaurus patch. We found it inside a bag, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to try to sell it. And it sold for $6 whole. This is a vintage LL Bean men's dress shirt. You can tell it's vintage because it's made in the USA. And this sold for $25. This is a Pottery Barn tablecloth, 100% cotton. It is 86 by 66, so it's quite large. And we took a best offer of $37. Another green item. This is 2 yards of velour cotton fabric. And we took a best offer of $15 on this. This is a vintage quilted nylon jacket. Pretty cool looking. It is new with tags. We have about 5 of these in different sizes. And this sold for $40. This is a 1970s men's. It's a no whale corduroy. It's kind of a velour. It's like corduroy with no bumps on it or whatever. So all jackets older than 16 months are 50% off in our store because I want to move them. And sales have been very, very slow. So this sold for $26. These are a pair of Kenneth Lang brand costume jewelry clip-on earrings. And they are 10K gold plated. I did test them with an acid test. And they're not real diamonds, I don't believe. That would be a little bit crazy. And they sold for $50. These are a beautiful pair of Haan women's loafers. Not too bad. Full leather sole. 9AA. They're very narrow. And they sold for $50. This is a blood pressure cuff. It has a very, very long name. The official name is very long, so I'm not going to try to say it, but this is metal. It's definitely one that you could use at a clinic or something like that. And I took a best offer of $25 on this. These are a pair of definitely mid-century, a pipe holder. When I first got this, I had no idea what it was. And a friend of ours that we have interviewed on the podcast a bunch, Adam from Mysterious Caravan, said that he sold pipe holders. And they look just like this, so then I knew. Pipe holders! And these sold for $36.99. Okay, I'm doing a super up-close shot of this little chain. You can see that it is like a triangle pattern chain. It's kind of cool, very 80s. The brand is Monet, and it sold for $13. This is a cool solid copper or brass. I think it's copper because it's got green stuff on it. Kind of a, it looks like a sort of a ancient Greece or Syrian symbol, but I'm pretty sure this is a reproduction from the 70s. It's a pendant necklace. And I did a bunch of research on it to see if it was genuine or not. But I just could not find anything about it. So I said vintage 70s type deal, and I sold it for $30. This is a vintage 80s Coca-Cola sweatshirt. It's got a couple marks on it. It's on sale for 50% off. Tag says made in the USA, so you know it's vintage. And it sold for $18.50. Vintage acrylic ski sweater, also 50% on sale. And it sold for $22.50. These are a pair of men's Johnson & Murphy penny loafer moccasin style driving moccasins. They're in good shape, but they are used, as you can see. And they sold for $60. This is a box of all natural rolled beeswax candles from Lily and Vernon. They're definitely vintage. And it's a box of 12, and they sold for $30. This is an LL Bean purse with embroidered owls on it, leather handles. It sold last month and someone returned it. I'm pretty sure she used it and it was filled with sand when I got it back. But it wasn't marked or stained or anything like that, so she got a refund minus a restocking fee, and I relisted it for more money, for $50, and it sold. These are a pair of antique glasses, eyeglasses, spectacles, whatever you want to call them, and they are gold filled. They are marked on the inside here in very tiny, tiny, tiny letters. You need a jeweler's loupe magnifying glass to read it. So a lot of times people just think, oh, these are junk, you know, but they are gold filled, so they're worth money. These sold for $97. So keep an eye on these. If you see tiny little print on the arm or the bridge, and you don't have a jeweler's loupe, it's probably going to say that it's gold filled. So it's a good chance to take, especially if they're cheap. This is a women's LL Bean barn jacket, quilted. It's got cool plaid on the inside. LL Bean. There's no size, but it's pretty much a large, extra large. And it sold for $50. Another jacket just sold. It is a wool, kind of wide collar, short cropped, kind of 1980s coat. And our coats are on sale. Most of them are. The one that just sold wasn't because it was new, but this sold for $18.50. This is the beautiful vintage saddle that sold. I believe we bought it for like $5 at an auction. It's all leather. It's got suede here. Definitely a cool piece. It sold for $150. This is an Ikea towel rack or kitchen rack. It is 32 inches long. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna pack that. And it sold for $20. These are 3 beautiful solid brass Danish modern mid-century candle holders. We bought them. We said, oh, they're so beautiful. And then we saw marked on the bottom, Denmark. So they are Danish modern. And they're a beautiful set. And they sold for $140. Yay! This is a Ransburg brand kitchen tin. Kind of plain, but this design to me was so cool in mid-century. I just thought it was so awesome. And the top, there's like this copper strip there that's just great. It's a little dented, it's a little marked up, but I just thought the design was so cool that it made up for it, and it sold for $30. This is a very cool vintage plaid travel case bag, and the original tag shows this person's address simply as their name, Route 2, in our little town. That's it. There weren't that many people, so it was easy to find someone. So I thought that was a cool little touch. And this sold for best offer of $45. This is a beautiful vintage leather travel wallet for landing card, currency, dollars, passport, etc. Looks like it's never been used. We sell these all the time, and this one sold for $36.99. This is a Berklee College of Music t-shirt from Boston, my hometown. Jay found this in a free pile on the streets of New York, and we sold it for $20. This is a beautiful Ralph Lauren men's quilted field jacket with a leather patch here, which is a hunting patch to rest your rifle on. Doubt this person's going to be doing that in New Jersey. But I had it up for $1.99 because it is Ralph Lauren Polo. But I've had it for a year. Someone offered $100, and I was happy to take that. $100. This is a beautiful Irish tweed and knit sweater. It's a women's. Beautiful. And it sold for $30. This is an amazing jacket with a white tiger and a mountain. I believe it's Japanese, on the back of a baseball style coat. And on the front it says Joey. Also amazing. The thing about these jackets is they're modeled off World War II jackets that vets brought home from Japan. And the ones that sell for a lot of money are from World War II. And they have, different ways of figuring out when they're from that period. But this one is definitely not that old. But it did sell for $80. Great price. Another bright red sweatshirt sold this week. This one just says Canada. It's pretty classic. Definitely vintage. And it sold for $36.99. This is a Danish modern side table. The table's there, the tabletop, and those are the legs. I'm actually going to ship it. It's made out of teak, and it is signed by a designer. I think we bought it for like $5 because there's a big mark on the top. I don't know if you can see that. But I put it up for $199, got an offer of $175, and I said yes. Check it out. It's a water heater insulation blanket. Really fancy stuff here. But they sell for $30 each. I think I've sold 2 other ones like this that I just found. I think that some power companies will give these out for free and people don't install them, so they give them to the thrift store and you can find them and they sell for $30 easy. This is 1.5 yards of rayon fabric in a really cool pattern, kind of a modern floral pattern. So it's 1.5 yards and it sold for $30. And that's it for this week. Bye.